The age is coming to an end, my friend. Twilight is falling, but a little light still remains.
Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for a bonus mini campaign set in the Atari Twilight universe. This is called Twist of Fate. We are back with who have been dubbed the Keystone Kids, and we're going to find out what the hell's happening in Garrett while the other crew are not there anymore. So if you guys like what we do here and the shows we put on and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by clicking on the Patreon link down in the description below. While you're down there, join us over in the Discord, be a part of the community and a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, there is the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Greg gets to do what the hell he wants to these wonderful players. And two, every single dollar that goes into that goes back to this wonderful community so we can hire out awesome editors, freelancers, artists, all kinds of cool stuff. So, without further ado, I turn things over to DJ M. Rock himself. Greg?
Thank you very much, Mike. An absolute pleasure to be back on unMadeGaming. This is the first time I have been a streamed GM in quite some time, so pardon the rust. But I am here with arguably my favorite setting, some of my absolute favorite players back in Garrett, Maryland in Atari Twilight. For those of you just joining us, this is Free League's Tales from the Loop system. It is a D6 system. It's rather simple. We will be using most of the rules of Tales from the Loop. A couple of them I tweak a little bit. Conditions are sometimes conditional. I don't automatically award things for failure, only if it's pressed or it's part of the story. The rule of cool will always win out. And since we are in the 80s that never was, I find that fitting. But before we go any further, I want to make sure we get to know the cast and who they'll be playing. But first, before everyone else knows, we have safety tools in effect for all of the players that you see here. If you are a viewer, whether here or on YouTube or a VOD of Atari Twilight, you should know that Twist of Fate would be rated PG-13 for violence, language, and scary situations. So view accordingly. With that, let us go around and talk to everybody, see who they will be playing, and I don't know, let's take your whatever your playbook is for Tales from the Loop, just so we can get a little bit more of the system integrated into the initial stages here of the show. G, who are you? Who will you be playing? And what is your playbook?
Hi, I am playing Scarlett Blake today. She is a 13-year-old girl. She is a jock or an athlete by class. And my playbook, do you mean my song?
No. Like if you the Tales from the Loop gives you an over-encompassing, yours is jock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are the jock playbook, which gives you a kind of a certain. We're already Michigan. Okay. Everybody also, Michigan is the code word for when our corruption bar goes up and I'm able to do things that are fun for me and should be fun for the viewers. I'm not sure about the players. Yes. So as you are playing Scarlett Blake, who is a jock, let us drop down to Bacon. Bacon, who are you, my friend? Who will you be playing? And what is your playbook for Tales from the Loop?
Yeah, my playbook for this game is I am the bookworm. I'm playing Jesse J.D. Davis. He is a part of the football team like Scarlett is, but his mom is a writer and really big into movies, TV, books and those things, and he has his creativity and his imagination has latched onto that more so than the sports. Yeah.
Perfect, my friend. Perfect. And let's jump over to Chris. Chris, how are you, my friend? Who will you be playing? And what is your playbook here in Tales from the Loop?
I am Chris. I am playing Ricky, Derek Ricky Lewis. He is the class is a hick. He is a dusty worker who spends a lot of time outdoors.
Fantastic, fantastic. And finally, last but certainly not least, Melissa, who are you? Who will you be playing? And what is your playbook?
Hi, everyone. I am playing Heather Jones. Heather would have been maybe a bookworm if she hadn't been so very, very weird. She's just a seriously awkward, uncomfortable in her own skin adolescent trying to make her way.
Fantastic. And that basically sounds exactly like Grimjack back in the 80s as well. So with that being said, let's get ready to do a little RP here as we are going to revisit Garrett, Maryland, see what our characters are doing in this world in 1988, and see if there's any potential trouble that could get into, which I'm sure I can figure up something. But before we do that, I'd like to let you know that the 1980s, a pop culture mecca, even the 80s that never was, the movies, the television. But for me, it was the music. And this episode has an accompanying playlist, which hopefully we can pop up in chat. And for those of you watching on YouTube or the VOD, please make sure you check the description for a link to our Spotify playlist. The Spotify playlist will be queued up throughout the show, so you can listen to whatever music is playing in our characters' heads or my head or even the town in general. A soundtrack, by its very definition, augments anything 80s. And so with that, we had a couple questions that came in from our group before we actually started in our chat that we had. And group, correct me if I'm wrong, there are two things that you wanted to uncover. JD was looking into whether or not there was any weird circumstances that occurred before this recent rash of weirdness in the town of Garrett. And there was also Van Halen, who is one of the NPCs from earlier adventures. Her location was to be found. Now, what I would like is whoever was in search of Van Halen could roll me an investigate. And whoever, and our JD in particular, since you were looking for information, please roll me a comprehend.
All right.
I'll
Here-
roll some investigate. Ooh,
And then-
one success.
And one success.
All right, so those rolls we will carry over until you all meet and are back together. I will let JD know this so he can prep just a bit. You have found that there are indeed hints of things that have occurred in the past of Garrett, Maryland, things before the 1980s that have been noted abnormalities. However, they are very infrequent and require extensive digging. And the one thing that you found that you thought of as being particularly, it's what sets you into the position to be able to see whether or not how this is going or if there's more to pursue. In the Garrett Times News, you found a few weird stories, but the one that was the start, the tip of the iceberg, an editorial that seemed so vivid that someone saw in the fields around Garrett a stegosaurus. There were at least 2 eyewitnesses, but the funny thing is, it was never mentioned again. One time in one editorial in the late 1960s. 68 to be exact. Now, with that being said, my friends, it's time to go back to Garrett, Maryland. So, as we begin anything, please cue up In a Big Country by Big Country from the album Big Country. Through the clouds we glide, the sky around us the freshest, the newest of blues. We hear a crackle of static just on the edge of our hearing. The crackle gets louder as we soar until a voice can be heard through the static. And then the static clears completely. Good morning, Garrett. The time is now 7:05 a.m. on Saturday, December 3rd, 1988, with the mercury dancing at 37 degrees and likely falling today. For those of you joining us for the tree lighting tonight, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay in Mountain, Maryland and experience all the wonders and adventures we have to offer in our big country. I am Martha in the Morning, and you are listening to Go 106.1, the home of all the rock that's fit to spin. Here's In a Big Country from the album Big Country by the band, you guessed it, Big Country. As the last tendril of cloud clings to our vision, and then we explode into the sunshine, a small town appears below us, the town of Garrett, Maryland, nestled high in the mountains in the west of the state. And we dive. The ground rushes towards us as we wing through the cold air. Buildings begin to speed around us before we enter the town completely. We climb again, this time spiraling high into the sky. The Loop facility and all of its secrets lie to the north, and just to the east, a lone building is perched on a cliff. As we look on this building known as Castle Grayskull by the kids, we hear voices from the past. I love this song. Stay quiet, Heather, and I'll let you live. Bombs away. Again we dive. This time the football field rushes beneath us as the ghosts of seasons recent tell their tale. He was real fast. What happened to my boy? Yeah, we should help. Scarlet, Scarlet, Scarlet. Stay ready. Away from the field we rush, through the town and into the shallow urban canyon of Main Street. The voices return. They can't see them coming. They have forgotten how to be kids. At sunset, he will devour them. The bastion of comic and pulp excellence, the paperback exchange, becomes our focus as our flight pattern shifts yet again. But the voices continue. Everything you've ever read, every tear you've cried for the characters in your tales, look to the books. Look to the books. Tell them all to look to the books. Oh, it figures. Thank you, my friends. Thank you for saving me. I'll find a way back and try to help if I can. Told you I'd find my way back. The Keystones went on to have many more adventures, but that is this story. We turn in the air suddenly, blast through several residential streets at a blur until we circle one home and slowly bleed through the city kitchen window. Boxes can be seen in the doorway through the living room, neat uniform boxes, sealed with the same green packaging tape and stacked in a perfect cube, 4 boxes across and 4 boxes high. A low wood fire burns in the fireplace, casting a pale orange glow against the blank canvas of the boxes. The glow would be interpreted by many as comforting, but to a few, it would seem sinister, medieval. And as we pan beyond the doorway and take to the kitchen proper, a radio recaps the date and time. It is Saturday, December 3rd at 7:16 a.m., and out your windows you'll see a crisp 37 degrees, clear skies, and a slight northerly breeze. Perfect shopping weather. I'm Martha in the morning, and you're listening to Go 106.1 FM with all the rock that's fit to spin. We move to the right of the radio to a classic 80s pale green Formica kitchen countertop. A moment later, a milk carton is placed on the countertop. On its side, a picture of a young man stares back at us. Printed around the picture is the question, have you seen me? Beneath the picture, a brief description of the boy is given, as his name is Casey Mitch Mitchell, and his birth date, May 4th, 1974. Our view drifts up as a woman in her early 40s pulls her lips away from the coffee mug, the steam of the liquid briefly fogging the bottom of her lenses. JD! Breakfast! Everybody, cue up Sweet Child of Mine. As our view is yanked from the kitchen through the window and up on a brief yet dizzying flight, Garrett spins in the background. Martha in the morning's promised beautiful day is starting, but just like that, we spin back into the house and the bedroom of Jesse Davis, or as his friends call him, JD. Bacon, what do we see?
Yeah, I think I'm sleeping in like a twin size bed. I don't know what he would be wearing for pajamas. Probably like long plaid pants to fit the vibe of Christmas, red and maybe a green. Shirtless and gets up after he hears his mom call and rubs the eye boogies out of his eyes and goes to the closet, puts on a shirt, and that matches his flannel and runs down.
Okay, just as you get up and just as you're ready to descend into the kitchen proper for the promised breakfast, there on your countertop amidst, or your desk, wherever you have been doing your work, a semi-forgotten piece of technology, a Frankensteinian walkie-talkie, squawks to life. And you hear the dots and dashes of a coded message. Now, JD, or Bacon, this will be the first time JD has heard this device for weeks.
Okay, yeah, I think immediately after he hears it, he like stops dead in his tracks.
And you would hear this, and you can tell that this is something, just by the pattern that you're hearing, it seems like it's being repeated, but it also seems to fluctuate in power, high pitches and low pitches and high pitch, almost as if it's gaining and having its strength drained from it. It's pulsating with this signal. Roll me a comprehend if you would like to try to write this down.
Yeah. Here it is. 2 successes. Nice.
Fantastic. So not only are you definitively sure that this is Morse code, you are confident that you get at least 2 repetitions through the dots and dashes, and you can see that they do in fact repeat. The message is quite long, but you're able to listen through it a couple times, and after about 4 or 5 minutes, you hear it repeat again, and you follow your markings through and are confident you have them accurate. Now, not knowing Morse code yourself, you would know with that second success that anything that you would need to decipher what you found can easily be found at the Garrett library, whether it be a deep classified military book or even a Boy Scout manual, or potentially a book on Morse code itself. Whatever you would need to interpret these dots and dashes can be found in that Sancta Sanctorum.
Yeah, I think he will grab his notebook because he has just been writing everything that he can think of. He's been taking all of those notes about the editorial, the Stegosaurus, anything that he can figure out. And I think maybe even a couple weeks ago, he felt like he was reaching all the dead ends. And now that he's seeing more and more of the missing kids, he has like another flame reignited. And so he'll run down with his notebook too.
Sure. As you descend the steps, you again are aware of the boxes. The house is in the process of packing as your dad, Mayor-elect Davis, prepares to take up residence in the mayor's office, official residence in Washington Street. Now, the former mayor, Jeffrey Bartlett, passed away suddenly last summer. So now the results of the November election are in, and the Davis family is free to move to the mayor's house. And that is the state of the current residents, packing, placing memories away to be transported to a new home. But as you get down, you see your mom standing there. She is drinking her coffee. And before you, breakfast is ready. Whatever JD's favorite breakfast would be, it would be prepared as your mom has a request of you. And this seems to be an offering of some kind. Good morning.
Morning, Mom.
Do you remember what today is? You would know that there's something loosely affiliated with a tree lighting ceremony, but beyond that,
I mean, the tree in town's going to be lit, but that's about it.
Remember, Dad needs us there tonight. It starts at 8, but he needs us there at 7:30.
Okay.
And she stops and looks at you like over the rim of the cup. 7:30, no later.
Okay. 7:30. I got it. I won't be late.
Oh, you got that, sweetie? It's when the big hand. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I can read clocks, but Mom, one thing I don't know how to read is this, and I like turn the notebook over to her, and it's Morse code that I wrote down.
She looks at it and kind of narrows her eyes, and I picked up the first 3-letter. That's GOT, GOT.
Okay.
And then the second is the THE. And the third, and she looks up and looks at you and squints her eyes. Is this for school?
No, I was gonna write. I was talking with some friends. We were watching some sci-fi movies, and I thought I could write like a story and use Morse code. And I just kind of wrote stuff down.
Roll a charm.
Here we go.
She looks and smiles, and she points to the next word and the next word, and she goes, "That's, yep, that's, oh." And she spins the paper back around and pushes it to you. Won't it be a surprise when you figure out on your own what these mean?
You always make me do this. Never.
But
just
then
tell
you'll
me.
know it, right?
Yeah,
and then
you're right. Just like Dad. Okay. I'll figure it out then, and I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Fantastic. She takes her coffee and begins to move towards the location where you know that she does her writing, but also probably to pack up her office as well, as you all are in like the final stages of preparing to move. But she turns around in the doorway at the last second and kind of pushes her coffee mug toward you and mouths the words 7:30. And turns back.
7:45.
You just hear her clear her throat as she goes.
Yeah, I'll walk away and kind of chuckle, or while she's going to her office, I'll laugh to myself.
As you laugh and then look down and see the partially decoded Morse message, we spin back out of the current Davis household, soaring and spiraling on dark wings. With a thermal cot, we glide through them, through the awakening town. 1980s Americana stares up from the ground, but sprinkled among the usual suspects of split-level homes and Christmas lights, there are small maintenance robots collecting trash along the high traffic areas, grav trucks floating over the treetops, and the distant bulk of the aforementioned all-powerful loop. See, this isn't our 1980s, this is the 80s that never was, or better yet, maybe this is an 80s, just as real as our own, but one we haven't seen until now. We wing into the tight spiral and head to the ground, riding the radio waves. Yes, it's Saturday, but it's still a day, and many of you need to hear this. Get out there and kick some butt. Don't take no for an answer. You are good enough. Never surrender. Fight the good fight, because you have the eye of the tiger. It's Saturday, December 3rd at 7:27 a.m., 37 degrees. I am Martha in the morning, and you're listening to Go 106.1 FM with all the rock that's fit to spin. Please go to our Spotify playlist and play Eye of the Tiger, which I'm going to cue up myself because. As the first crashes sound in the song, we see a pair of Converse All-Stars pounding the asphalt of one of Garrett's many side streets. The shoes blur from the street to the concrete as the jogger moves to a sidewalk, transitioning to avoid an oncoming car. We pan up to see the running pants and hooded sweatshirt of the jogger until we can identify Scarlett Blake, her face red from exertion and the cold air, her ears covered by the foam caps of a Walkman. Gee, as Scarlett runs, she hears the voice of Chip Saltz, or rather, Coach Saltz, the Braddock High football coach for the upcoming fall 1989 school year. You overheard your middle school coach, Ray Cook, telling Coach Saltz of your passion and talent for the game. But it's Coach Saltz's response that powers your run. Ain't no goddamn girl suiting up on a team I coach, Ray. I don't give a shit if she's better than Joe Montana or Terry Bradshaw combined. She's a goddamn girl. Tell her to grab some pom-poms because that's the only way she's getting on my goddamn field. What's going through Scarlett's head as she thinks about this exchange she overheard?
I think just those words, like "no goddamn girls getting on my field," and it's just echoing and echoing and echoing, and then she like she's just trying to drown out the thought. She reaches down and just thumbs the volume on her Walkman. So it's just the Eye of the Tiger song just blares in her ears, and she just fucking pushes. And she's just running as fast as she can.
And you're a blur as you kind of cross from sidewalk to street. Whenever the sidewalk ends, you jump out into the street watching for cars. You're in that complete realm as Survivor plays Eye of the Tiger in your head. You can't hear Garrett, but somehow Coach Saltz continues to kind of weasel his way with those goddams and girls, and the way that he spoke of you, despite your, well, like Ray Cook said, your passion and talent. Roll me an investigate as you blur through Garrett.
0 successes.
I'll let you know that you may push this roll if you would like.
I think I'm going to push it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just reroll, straight reroll, and then a condition, correct?
If you fail again, a condition will be in play. This will be upset because of your state of mind.
Yeah, there we go.
One success means no condition for you. And as you're running, thinking about just the exertion of the exercise, the physical activity of pushing away stressors, your mind absently begins to note similarities. And as you're running, you pass by a white van that says Alta Cable. And you see several men are stringing up what you believe to be cable television to a number of homes in the neighborhood. As you round a corner and begin to kind of press further in, you see another van, this one also white, but it's a box van with kind of an attic space over the cab where the drivers would be. And this one says Mountain Fresh Air, an Alta subsidiary. It seems to be some type of central air company. And here in early December, they seem to be putting in some air conditioning units. And as you run, yeah, as you do, it's a good time. There's a sale. As you round a corner, you see a vacant lot. This is just at the edge of the residential district, kind of like towards the edge of town itself, right around the part where you would turn around and head back home. And as you look, your Walkman's batteries die, and you hear Survivor fade out. Just the last crashes of cymbals and guitar. And when you look up, you see that there is a trailer on this lot. A construction company seems to be in full swing. But at the same time, it appears that the site is being packed up, which is odd for this early in the morning. It should just be starting. But the trailer, which is closest to you, just as you begin to make your loop, your fish hook around to return home and the back half of your run, 2 men walk out. And as they walk out, they're talking loudly enough for you to hear now that Survivor has dropped. But as the door opens, I want you to roll me an investigate. This is in combination of your current success. You could glean a little more.
Okay. 0 successes.
You look, and as you look and watch this movement of the 2 coming out, with that 1 success from earlier, you see a glow coming from inside the trailer, a very familiar glow. It is the same hue and pulsing electric quality as that strange river that you saw nearly 2 months ago beneath Castle Grayskull. It has that electric blue, and it illuminates and kind of side fills the 2 men as they walk out and close the door behind them. You hear them talking. One of them appears to be a site manager, the other security, as they say that they won't be back until Monday, but they need to stop everything because the ground seems frozen. They just go back and forth with numbers enough that whenever you turn and you finally start to go, it doesn't look as if you are listening to them. Would you like to try to listen to them more?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then roll me stealth as you attempt to.
She would probably slow down quite a bit, especially when the batteries die, because that is a heckin' killjoy when your music cuts off. So she'd probably slow down to a walk, and she's like hands on hips, like breathing heavily. And you want sneak.
Sneak, yeah.
Not very sneaky, but I got one success.
You are sneaky at this moment. So like whenever you kind of like stop and like, maybe stretch a bit or like take a power walk for a second as you move around, you buy yourself a little bit more time. And you notice as you look over, the person that seems to be the site manager absently closes the trailer behind them, but doesn't push it. Anybody that lives in trade winds would let you know that when you close a trailer, you have to push it so it latches. And it just kind of rests. And the two men walk off and he says, I'll check back Monday. There'll be someone here every night, though. Everything will be safe. Everything will be good. We'll be right on schedule come the thaw in February. Plenty of time before March. And they seem to be moving away from you at this point as their voices turn to things of the holiday nature. What'd you get your wife? Nothing. And then they move off.
So you said the door is ajar?
From your position, it looks as if it was closed, but definitely not latched. And as you watch, a little gust of breeze catches it, and you can tell it's just on the U-hook. It's just...
Yeah, so she's gonna like stop and like, and just kind of like stretch a little bit, maybe stretch her calves out a little bit, her hamstrings, and she's gonna look, make sure that they're gone.
You can see as you look, there are still people around, but they seem to be getting ready to go. It would be difficult to get onto the site at this moment, but they all seem to be preparing to leave. Not immediately so, but packing up trucks, and you see people like winding cable up.
Okay.
Looks like the end of a work day and not the beginning.
Okay. So from what I can tell, it's not going to be cleared out in the next like 3 minutes or something like that.
Right. It definitely looks like it's being cleared up, but not yet. It'll be some time before they vacate the premises.
Is this like a residential area?
It's right at the edge of the residential area. In fact, I can help you all out. If you turn to roll 20, let us. Okay, so if we look at our lovely map of Garrett, this would be right about, I'm going to ping up here. If you can see that, right at the edge of town, the north edge of town.
Okay. Yeah, so I think she might just linger for a few minutes, stretching out her hamstrings and stuff like that, like put it up on like the curb and like lean down, just kind of take a look-see of what's going on, mostly because that blue hue really caught her eye. So yeah, and then she'll slowly make her way back as she would normally do.
I will tell you this, with your earlier successes of your sneak and your investigate, you are able to, as the wind kind of catches the door a little bit, it makes it, you get a thin line of that blue glow as just enough air and space makes itself between the door and the frame, almost, augmenting your.
I thought you were saying, is it beckoning?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can verify that it is in fact not something that you imagined, unless you're continuing to imagine it, but it is actually present.
Okay. She's just, she'll make mental note of it, and she's going to come back to that.
Okay. Your return trip to your house is uneventful. It is also boring as hell because your Walkman's batteries have died. As you get to your front door, and as we, the viewers, kind of spin and spiral above and away from you, you open the door, and we see from inside the Blake house as the door opens and Scarlett is framed inside the front door, but the counter in front of us is obscured as a milk carton drops in front of it, again displaying "Have you seen me?" with the name Jerry Baker and the birth date 11/14/1974. Your brother, Kyle Blake, shakes the milk carton. Left some milk for you. Remember to hit the protein. Kyle
Yeah.
puts a
Yeah,
as soon as you say that,
I got it.
he takes a peanut butter covered like Thomas English muffin and puts it in his mouth, and he shrugs into his Letterman's jacket and grabs his truck keys. Now you would know, he was the starting quarterback for the Braddock Spartans and the high school, but he's also in the student council. And so he is scheduled to volunteer today to help put up the tree lighting ceremony downtown. For anybody wanting to know exactly what he looks like, this might be like a young Matt Dillon, with like the hair kind of cut on the sides but piled on the top of the head. So even though he's very athletic, he looks leaner and a handsome guy, maybe a Jake Ryan from 16 Candles. He takes a bite out of the English muffin and crosses to you, and he raises 4 fingers. You've already ran. Protein. We have to build as much. We have to build as much muscle as we can.
I got it.
All right.
Did you save me some eggs? Come on.
Yes. Water until you're peeing every 10 minutes. Flood your body so it gets used to always having plenty. And the last finger he has up is the middle. And F Coach Salts. That asshole wants me slinging ball for him this fall. He's going to have my sis on the team.
Damn straight. And she's going to fist bump him or whatever.
He puts the English muffin back and he fist bumps you. And then he pulls it back out with a bite. And he says, no, seriously, I got your back. Don't worry about it, Scar.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And then when she's going to like kind of playfully like kind of tackle him into the wall or something like that, like push him.
Yeah, and he doesn't give at all. Like you would think that like, he might, oh, wow, you hurt me. Bullshit. That's not Kyle. He hits you and he pushes right back. And I mean, for a moment, roll me a force to see how what goes on here.
She's like, you never let me win.
And he kind of puts the muffin back in his mouth and pushes you away. It takes him some strength because you've been, really, but he's still able to push you back just with the age and the experience that he has. And he looks down and says, I'm never going to let you win. And he puts the English muffin back in his mouth and puts his fist out again.
And she'll knock it.
And he moves outside. And as he moves out to his truck, we zip into the open air. Wheeling out of Garrett, we soar into the brilliance of late autumn in Mountain, Maryland. The leaves are down and the landscape seems more winter than fall, but still, a little of the energy remains before the long, cold sleep. Below, the large squares and rectangles of plotted land fill the earth. Towards one of these shapes, we speed into a dive. We whip down to ground level and rocket toward a rapidly approaching barn, silo, and farmhouse. My friends, please play Only the Strong Survive by one Bryan Adams. Let me get that queued up myself. We quickly circle around the large farmhouse with a finger of smoke coming from its chimney. Through this same smoke, we shoot and toward the great open doors of the massive barn. With a quick roll, we corkscrew into the barn, slow, and settle high in the rafters. Below, we see a tall, skinny boy, busy pitchforking hay from a cubed bale, as Bryan Adams sings from a small single-speaker radio hung from a nail on one of the support columns. As the song ends, the DJ's voice layers over the last trailing notes of the song. Good morning, Garrett. Today is Saturday, December 3rd, and the time is 7:41 a.m., 37 degrees outside, so make sure you layer up, as today's high is only supposed to be 37 degrees, with a possibility of snow this evening, which is perfect timing for the tree lighting in downtown starting at 7. Stay on Santa's nice list and meet us downtown tonight. I am Martha in the morning, and you are listening to Go 106.1 with all the rock that's fit to spin. Now it's time to bend the knee for your prince. Here's When Doves. A large finger switches off the radio and silences Martha in the morning. As the boy stops slinging straw, we watch from just over the top of a wide top rail between two of the stalls. A tray carrying a carton of milk and a bowl of oatmeal appears, dominating our view. Again, on the side of the carton, a picture and a question. The question, have you seen me? The picture, Shannon Locke. Her birth date, July 3rd, 1973. A tall, muscular man with the hard edges of someone that has worked every day of their lives looks over at the boy and says, breakfast from Mom, Ricky. Listen, have you been messing around the North Field? Maybe with the tractor? You know, that machine is our lifeblood, son. Anything happens to that and we are up the creek. Chris, what does Ricky say?
I swear that I wasn't messing with anything. There was a couple things just that needed moving, but I didn't mess with anything. It should still be working. It was the last time I moved stuff.
Son, there are ruts and burn marks in the field. Looks like something that would happen when someone is messing around with a tractor and not doing work with a tractor.
I mean, if it's muddy, sorry, Dad. I just head down. It was muddy, and I got stuck. The tractor wouldn't pull it, and then I just.
What the hell are the burn marks from, Ricky? I mean, what were you lighting up out there? I mean, there are scorch marks 20 yards long. You out there with gasoline? That's expensive stuff, son. And if it's kerosene, it's more expensive still.
No, I definitely didn't like that. Not with gasoline. No.
Roll me a charm +3 since presumably you didn't do this.
Charm. -3.
He still doesn't seem super convinced, but his tone lowers a bit. I'm serious, Ricky. Do not mess with the tractor. Do not mess with the gasoline. We can't earn a living without both and don't have the money to fix or replace it. I'm counting on you to help out around here. Most of the time, you're a good kid, but I won't stand for this type of behavior. We're lying. Won't do it again.
Yes, Dad. Sorry for the tractor, but the fire definitely wasn't me. I know better.
Yeah, might have been that damn Bradley boy. I'm gonna have to have words with his dad. You keep an eye out too, Ricky. Last thing we need is some idiot losing control of a ring of fire and burning down a fence, or God forbid, the silo. That reminds me. Go out and check on the silo. I was gonna mark the levels, but forgot when I saw all that. He seems to kind of half blame me for this nonsense in the field.
Yes, sir.
You got it?
Yes, sir. Straight after breakfast.
All right. When you're done that, day's yours.
Thank you very much. And he picks up the milk, looks at the picture on it, which I'm assuming we've seen many, many times over the months, and just pours it into his bowl and starts eating his breakfast.
You quickly do. And as you finish, the last thing on your list of things to do before you can head into town to meet up with your friends is your dad asked you to check the silo. Now, anybody that's, again, Greg knows enough about farming because of his youth to get many things wrong, but I can help with this. In a silo, especially before the winter begins, you need to make sure you're checking the levels inside of it to make sure that you have X number of whatever the material happens to be inside, likely grain, to be able to feed the livestock and get through the winter. A lot of times you check the levels to make sure something hasn't gotten into anything and is causing an infestation and things like that. And so it's a relatively quick type of thing. You just make sure that you check and everything's as it should be and you don't see any type of incursion. 5 minutes tops, but that's what your dad has tasked you with.
Yeah, Ricky once eaten. His dad's obviously left. He heads straight over to the silo. He's not going to miss a farm chore.
Okay. And as you're moving over, viewers, this is just between us. Go to your Spotify playlist and cue up a little Rockwell. Somebody's watching me. Chris, I don't know. Just you can roll me a comprehend or an investigate. I mean, just to see if your roll 20 is working.
Comprehend or an investigate. Neither one of those go well, Greg. Can I do comprehend? Because that one's much better. No successes.
As you come forward and you start walking close, you see that you actually kind of walk in the footsteps of your father. As you approach the silo, you can see over in the north field that the grass is black in a certain area. You see that there are ruts in the field there inside the grass, some of them 2-3 feet deep, and they look like gouges, as if someone took a plow that deep into the earth. But the strange thing is, you don't see where the earth was deposited. There isn't like a pile of loose earth to the side, or wherever the earth from in that gouge went, it's, at least you can't see it, it's not in the immediate vicinity. And as you get closer to the silo, something's wrong. Very wrong. You sense a presence. And just when you come to this realization, the hair on the back of your neck stands straight up. Your arms are covered in goose flesh. There's something in the silo. Something alien. Roll me an empathize.
That's not good. Empathize. So. 0 successes, Greg.
As you come to this realization, you're filled with dread. This is your home. You've walked this land since you could walk. Whether or not this is a place that you are fearful or brave, this is your home. And so you're not supposed to feel this way in the early morning during chore time, but this is the dark of night. This is waking from a nightmare type of dread. And as you look into the gloom of kind of the rectangular building that foots the silo, where things are prepped to be placed inside the great tube, you see 3 pairs of eyes looking back out at you. And as one, the 3 pairs wink. Your feet are moving backwards before you can control yourself.
Yeah, Ricky's going to keep facing them, but try and move backwards as quick as he can to get away from that.
And that's with the empathize roll. You have to retreat, and you do just that. You keep facing, and the eyes seem to move a little bit, almost comically, like they're circular. These 3 sets are moving in and out of your visual acuity. And as you retreat, though, as the sounds of Rockwell leave us, we launch into the sky higher than we have been, blasting through one wispy cloud. We blast through this cloud, and then we smash through a rainbow and a smear of stars. We rush from here to there. We settle down on a small cloud, but after a moment, the white just at the bottom of our vision reveals itself not to be a fluffy white of water vapor, but the fluffy white of ears. The fluffy white ears of a luck dragon, to be exact. Everyone, please cue up Never Ending Story at the bottom of your Spotify playlist. Hang on, Heather! On the back of the great luck dragon Falcor, Heather Jones holds on to the great tufts of the mythical creature's fur. You rocket down from a great height, Heather, and a beautiful world appears below you, as this is not the landscape of some fantasy world. You see the rolling hills outside Garrett, the farms. In fact, you think you see Ricky's farm, but a shadow seems to be obscuring it despite the brilliance of the day. What do you do as the wind rushes through your hair?
Falcor, that way, down there.
Hang on! as you dip and dive. And as you are diving into that direction, you look down, and riding along the ground, you see a boy riding a brilliant white horse, and the boy is waving. And Falcor screams out, "Atreyu and Artax, race you!" And the horse and his boy lower their heads and rocket across the land, taking the luck dragon up on his challenge. As you rush towards Ricky's farm, you pass through the last low-hanging fog, the sleeping cloud that is rising from the ground. And as you pass through it, you are in a different space. Falcor wheels and climbs against the side of a high cliff and blasts above the ruins of Castle Grayskull in the exact opposite direction, with the town of Garrett now between you and Ricky's farm. As you blast over and look down at the ruins of this loop outbuilding, 3 figures, 2 with swords drawn, seem to be moving toward the castle in search of adventure. "Willow, Mad Mardigan, Sorsha, save some for us!" The 3 punch their fists into the air in a passionate response. Below you, it seems as if Val Kilmer, Jodie Wally-Kilmer, they look up at you and punch their fists in perfect rendition of their characters from the movie Willow. You spin farther and faster. Falcor flies with the small waterfall appearing in the forest below. An older boy sits with a beautiful dark-haired girl. They seem to have just stopped kissing. "Jack and Lily, congratulations!" Falcor shouts. The boy Jack waves and starts to laugh, and the girl Lily blows a kiss to both Falcor and Heather. Up you spin. "Where do we go from here, Heather?" Falcor seems to have forgotten your earlier need to go to Ricky's farm. But he stands ready. Your friend, the Luck Dragon.
Let's fly. Let's just fly.
Yes! And again, through the clouds, you with that serpentine flying motion of the Luck Dragon, down and up, you ride the small crests and waves of his body as he flies through the air. But up ahead, you see the town of Garrett. And there is a dark fog that seems to cling to every building. And it's not a fog of gray. It is a fog of shadow, of living night. And this time, for the first time, Falcor speaks to you with a hint of sadness. "The evil has returned, Heather. It will come all at once. Many paths lie before you. No matter how desperate it seems, you and your friends must stay together. The enemy is strong and getting stronger. Only together can you hope to win."
We will stay together, and you'll be there too.
The winds begin to swirl and howl, and you feel the tufts of fur beginning to slip through your hands. And with a desperation you've never heard in the Luck Dragon's voice, "You're getting pulled from me, Heather."
No, stay.
"I'm trying." Roll investigate. I will let you know that you can push. The condition upset awaits you with a failure.
I'll push.
With one success, you do not get the condition, but you feel your grip on Falcor's fur pull free, and you feel yourself falling, and Falcor is chasing after you, his snout getting further and further from your falling form. but you hear him say with your success, "We will be ready when the veil falls. Call for us. Call our names. Atreyu, Artax, Willow, Monica, and Sorsha, Jack, Lily, Falcor." And he is gone. Everyone stop the music, because that's what happens when alarm clocks go off. A break in the radio as a broadcast is gathered mid-transmission. 37 degrees. I am Martha in the morning, and this is Go 106.1 FM with all the rock that's fit to spin. And for all of you out there that might be a little down this time of year, know that we are here for you. I am here for you. Here's one of my favorites, Tracy Chapman, Fast Car. Everybody, please go to your Spotify playlist and cue up a little Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Heather, you're in your closet, a book clutched to you, your telescopic itty-bitty book light still shining in the gloom. The house is quiet. No one's checked on you. No one has worried about you or tried to talk to you. You are alone, but you can still feel Falcor's fur.
I'm going to turn off the light and tuck my book away in my bag, which I carry with me everywhere, and exit the closet, and then listen in at my bedroom door to see if I hear anything out there.
Roll me an investigate. You press your ear to the door, and what I'm going to allow you to do with that second one, bank it for later. If I ask you for an investigation roll, you already have a success that you can use. Call it a residuum of Fantasia. You hear someone talking outside. A voice of your sister.
Is she in the hallway?
You can hear her.
Does it sound like she's on the telephone?
No.
No.
It seems like she's creeping a bit. And as you have your ear to the door, you feel the door rattle in the frame as she slaps it going by, perhaps in an effort to wake you, perhaps in an effort to jar you. It's not a pleasant move.
She's such a bitch.
You hear the front door open and close, and you hear her voice out on the street.
Heather will then open the door and creep out into the hallway, and then start to move through the house as quietly as possible, but go out the back.
Okay, so as the general setup for this house, most places, at least in Garrett, you drop through the back door, which is like kind of off the kitchen, whether it's a sliding glass door or, and as Heather creeps down the steps, we as the viewer pull back a bit. We go outside the kitchen window. We can see just in the periphery, the lot in the house next door that's for sale, but then we come back in. We travel through the window until we see just over the trash can where the last of the milk was consumed without a single thought if Heather would need any. There's a question. Have you seen me? And a face. Ben McKenzie, 4/15/1974. You make it to the back door.
Heather will head out into the backyard, and from there we'll try to make her way over to the garage to get to her bicycle.
You make it. But when you get there, you realize that someone has let the air out of your back tire.
Well, it looks like I guess I'll be walking today. Um, Heather heads up out of the garage and looks to see if her sister is still out front.
With your earlier investigate not having to use your second success, I'll give this to you. She seems strangely at this hour of the day to be gone.
Well, coast is clear, so Heather will then head out probably a little bit early to meet the rest of her friends.
Okay. And as you begin to move off, we, the viewer, fly back out into the Garrett morning as time swirls beneath us, as the digital clock on the credit union flips to 9 o'clock a.m. We zoom in on the hideout of the Keystones, a hideout I will let my group explain. My friends, my Keystones, may I officially welcome you back to Garrett, Maryland. The time is now 9:01 on Saturday, December 3rd, 1988. You can gather in whatever order you would like, but I need descriptions of your headquarters for everyone. And I will ask you for the first time our season, what do you do?
Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, or let me know. The hideout was going to be in an attic off JD's house. Is that going to be the new place or the one we're moving out of now?
Why don't we make it the new place?
Okay.
Because that seems like you're moving to a brand new house on Washington Street, which is very schwanky. It also has a huge kind of what would have been a carriage house at the time, back in the day. Huge high ceilings, but it's been converted into basically more of a loft than anything else, renovated to the point of having electricity and heat and things like that. And so if that would be the establishment, the good thing is there's no one in the house either, as this is, for the right now, a property that belongs solely to the Keystones.
I think JD would probably get there first, seeing as it's like going to be his family's place. And he's carrying up like a few boxes and whatnot. And then after that, he's going to sit down and play the like Nintendo or Atari or whatever's in there and just wait for his friends to show up.
Well, it's absolutely Atari. But
yeah.
As you sit down, you kind of fire it up and everything, and Pitfall, or maybe something slightly better, begins to pixelate on the screen. Who shows up next?
Heather would probably be next. And she was maybe a little bit early anyway, given that she wanted to get out of her house as soon as possible. So she would head up and go through, I guess, through the garage or through the carriage house, you say, and head up the pull down stairs in the main room, and then knock on the side of the floor opening when you have those pull down stairs, you know.
Right.
Anyone here?
Hey, I'm up here.
Hey, is it okay if I'm here a bit early?
Yeah. Come up. I'm just playing Atari.
What are you playing?
What am I playing? What would be a good game for JD to play? Let's
You have
see.
classics.
Yeah. I don't even know. Probably Asteroids.
Asteroids. Oh, have you ever played Centipede?
Yeah, I'm not very good at it though.
Well, I mean, that's a shame. It's developed by a woman programmer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's super cool. Do you want to play? I can turn this off.
I mean, yeah, let's do it. But yeah, I'm not really good, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, well, I'm not good either, so we'll have fun.
Cool.
And yeah, we'd start playing. I think maybe after a little bit, JD would be like, it's been a bit of a weird morning, I guess. That walkie-talkie I have finally made noise after so long. Just Dawson beeps and different things. I think it's Morse code though. Here, and I'll flip it to her when she finishes her round.
Morse code.
Do you know it?
No, but we can go to the library.
Yeah. I got 2 words so far, got and the. And my mom wouldn't tell me this next one.
Well, so do you see any like patterns in there? Can you like find another G or another T?
I'm sure we can. I haven't tried yet. I thought we could do it together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So we'll take some time to try and, use the words that we know or the letters we know.
Okay. I tell you what, you all can roll, and what we're going to do is something that we didn't really have a lot of opportunity to use in our earlier episodes. One of you can roll comprehend, and the other can assist. What that'll do is whoever's rolling will get a +1 towards the roll.
Okay. I have a mind. I think comprehend rolls mind, right? A mind 5 and a comprehend 3. So I think I get 8.
Yeah, I'll assist JD.
All right, 1 bonus dice. 2 successes.
Yeah, you definitely start. You're able to look through, and the T seems to be easiest to kind of figure out and place, because you've got it appearing twice in the GOT of got and the THE of the. You can see that, and it's a little bit easier to kind of pull that one out, and you see it appear as Greg counts. It appears at least 7 more times, but you think you can figure out one of the words. It looks like TO, T-O, because you can't think of anything else that would be T something else.
Gotcha. Well,
but it's almost like looking at the final puzzle in Wheel of Fortune, and there's like 117 letters, and you've got 4 of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, this might be as far as we can get with what we know. T's show up a lot. Man, we T's show up in a lot of words, I guess.
I think that's true of the English language in general.
Looks that way.
So maybe a trip to the library later?
Yeah, I just have to be at the Christmas tree ceremony by 7:30. Preferably probably a little bit earlier because I've been late recently, and my mom really made sure that I knew it was 7:30.
Well, they're both downtown.
Yeah, I just wanted. I got to tell somebody else so that maybe they keep me on time,
Okay, I'll do my best.
And with that, who would be the next to arrive at the hideout?
Yeah, I'll arrive next. She ran there. So, and after she got new batteries and ate some protein, she put her headphones back on, and so she runs up the driveway, and she opens the door and she lets herself in and comes into the room proper. The Eye of the Tiger is still playing through the headphones as she takes it off. Hey guys.
Long run?
Yeah. You live kind of far away now.
Yeah, new house, it's different. But this is
cool.
This is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom set it up really well for us, and we got our posters and everything.
What are you guys doing? And she'll come over and take off her drawstring bag, and she pulls out, and she's got a English muffin with the peanut butter and like 3 hard-boiled eggs inside the bag. And she was like, just stuffs a whole egg in her mouth. We
were looking at this the walkie-talkie I have. It made noise this morning.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was like it's Morse code, I guess. So we were going around and we were looking at it and trying to find words, but we only have 3, and T shows up the most often from what we can tell.
Oh,
but
cool.
It just says got the some word and then 2. Yeah, but I don't know. It's a pretty long message, so it takes about it took about 4 to 5 minutes to play all the way through.
Can we tell how many words it is, Greg? Is that something?
Yeah, when you look at it, the problem is, as you're looking at this, you have to make sure that you're not Morse code is the biggest problem with it is you read one word but it's actually like 3 words.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
what has been kind of deciphered so far, you're thinking you're looking right around 20 to 30 words.
Okay. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, I don't know anything about Morse code.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think we thought we'd go to the library, try and find like a book or ask for help or something like that.
Okay, that's cool. And she's gonna take out of her bag her offensive playbook for her football team, and she kind of flips it backwards so the blank pages are facing up, and she opens it and she's like scribbled some notes of all like the past adventures that they've gone on and little thoughts that she has, and she makes a copy of what they have in her notebook.
Any luck with Coach Saltz?
No, he's still a dick face. And she
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully with your brother and I on the team, or at least going for it, we should be able to at least vouch for you. Hopefully that'll help.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Maybe I'll just kick him in the knee or something like that.
That might not help, but
Yeah, I know, but it'd be funny and it might make me feel better. I don't know.
it'll probably make you feel better, and it would be funny.
You know. So and
Yeah,
she'll just
I'd
kind
love
of
it.
flop. She'll just flop down on the couch wherever they're sitting. Where's Ricky?
I haven't
And
seen
with
him yet.
that, yeah.
So Ricky, as he's riding his BMX towards the hideout, he pedals really fast and then sits back and just keeps looking back, looking in all the shadows after what he had seen, looking for any crazy eyes or anything following him until he skids up to JD's house, parks his bike probably on the side of the house. Just it's the 80s. No one steals bikes.
No, but
Go for
but
it.
when you're looking around and everything, I don't know, roll me to investigate.
Not investigate, Greg. No successes, Greg.
Yeah, you are scanning every shadow, every bit of movement, everything that could potentially be a threat, anything that would, catch you. And you see those eyes everywhere, in an alleyway, beneath a car, any place that has a bit of shadow, you see the eyes. Sometimes they wink, sometimes they do that funny circular movement as if they're kind of pulling cartwheels or something in their darkened space. But you see them everywhere. Now, whether you really see them or not, I don't know.
Does he see any around JD's house itself?
Oh. For everybody, just so you know, as per the rules of Tales from the Loop, the hideout, headquarters, and sancta sanctorum of the kids is a fortress of solitude. Nothing can happen to them there, and I will respect that rule.
Fantastic. So as Ricky slides up to the hideout, he looks
For
around
now.
the building and he sees none of the eyes looking at him from the house itself. He parks his bike, just dumps it to the side next to the garage and just sort of runs through. If the doors are open, he just keeps running through, climbs the ladder up to the hideout. It's been a morning. That something's following me and watching me or something. I don't know.
Well, you okay?
When Ricky jumps up, we want to get used to doing this. From Heather, Scarlett, and JD, roll me an empathize as he comes up. This is your friend, so you get a +2 on this roll.
Can I roll an extra 2 dice?
You absolutely can, yeah.
Okay, just 1 success.
Ooh, I got 2.
That's 4 total, friends. And with 4, that's the maximum number of successes you could have for this little thing. As you all, when Ricky emerges and begins to say exactly what Chris has just said, you all can feel the dread. This isn't a sympathy type of thing. you can actually feel it as if you're experiencing it yourself. You can feel that kind of clutch of your stomach. You can feel that jump scare moment where your throat catches and your heart skips a beat. JD, you more than anyone else, you almost like have your breath taken from you as Ricky shows up. You're not scared of Ricky's arrival, but maybe of what he's carrying with him.
What do you mean something's following you?
I don't know. And as Ricky gets up to the hideout, he starts scrambling across to get to the opposite side of the room to the entrance. I went to go and check on the silo this morning, and there were eyes. Creepy eyes underneath the silo in the dark. I didn't hang around, and the whole way here, I've seen them everywhere.
What?
Is it a? Do you think that things are starting to happen again? I had some dreams. I've been having a lot of dreams lately, but I had a dream that was. Well, I don't know. Do you think something's happening?
Like I could dream like before with that tower and.
Well, not the same dream. It was, you know how in that old dream, it was all like different books and different characters that we knew. It was the same. It was characters from books and things that I knew, but there was a terrible, terrible darkness and evil that was coming down on the town, and I don't know. It just it felt the same. It felt
Heavy. But just the whole town, though?
At Ricky's farm. There was something at Ricky's farm.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It was a dream. I didn't get there. It was just there. You don't always. It was a dream.
Yeah, when I was on my run before coming here, I was running, through, like the back where like the residential area is. You guys know where I run, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was like this vacant lot, and like there was this trailer, and like it seemed okay, like there was people there, and like that's all fine. But then there was something in the trailer, and it just reminded me. Remember back at Castle Grayskull, and there's that weird light.
I think I forgot. Can you tell me again?
No,
I'm just kidding. No, well, I guess that means that all four of us have something weird that's happened to us today, because that walkie-talkie made noise, right? So I don't know.
But that there was this trailer and that same light. I mean, I guess it could have been something different, but it was the same light, like the same color. It was coming from out of that trailer. So
Did it have eyes?
No, there was men there, and they were talking.
Well,
just like regular stuff.
I feel like I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just maybe we should go and see what's going on at Ricky's house.
I still need to check the silo.
I mean, did you look around this morning, Ricky? No?
I literally ran from home, got my bike, came here, and everywhere I looked, in all the alleyways, under cars, there's just eyes that have been watching me and dancing around and winking and.
Oh, I remember something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I remember something. We're supposed to stick together. It was from my dream. We need to stick together.
I like that plan. Yep.
Okay.
So
yeah.
She's safety numbers.
She's gonna give a blanket to Ricky and kind of sit him down on the couch with them. So he's like, everyone's kind of like shoulder to shoulder, so they're talking.
Ricky, you want a Coke?
Please.
All right. Grabbing one from the cubby.
He's visibly sweating He's been cycling as fast as he can because Ricky lives quite a way away from town, and JD's moved extra far.
Yeah.
You want one of my hard-boiled eggs?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, she'll eat one. Protein.
We can stop by Ricky's if we can get to the library too. And I told Heather, but I have to be at the ceremony by 7:30 and hopefully earlier because my mom made sure that I knew to be there at that time. Something for my dad. I don't know, like being new mayor or whatever. We have to look like a family. So
This tree lighting for Christmas.
yeah.
I like the tree lighting. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
pretty.
fun, but this seems like it might take some time.
Well, it's only like 9:30 now, so we got lots of time. Because
Yeah.
I noticed that trailer with the light, the door might be open. They might have left the door unlocked.
Okay.
Do we want to
Do that first.
I don't know.
Which one's closer to here? Which one is closer to here?
It sounds like you all have an awful lot to do.
We do.
If you look at your map, Washington Street is way up here at the top of the hill. Where we said the construction site's right over here, where Scarlett saw what was going on. Ricky's farm would be way out this way towards the corner and out into everything. And of course, past the mall. Yeah. And then the library is right here on Main Street.
Okay, so here are my thoughts. We might get answers on the eyes and on the trailer by decoding this message, right? Or at least it might tell us which one's more important. So maybe we get the message first and then we decide. But I mean, either way, we need to go to Ricky's because he said that he has to count. He's got to do the silo stuff. So
yeah, maybe we can help. We can help you count. Maybe get it done quicker.
What do you count?
The grains of wheat.
I
think
we count the grains.
Just the level of how far it's filled. Yeah.
Isn't that how?
Each individual.
Ricky looks like, no, you don't have to count them individually. You just need to look how full the silo is.
Okay,
it's just a little hatch that you look in.
Okay, then maybe we don't need to help you, but we'll be there to make sure no eye things get you. Were they people eyes or monsters?
They didn't move like people's eyes. They were like as if really small people were doing cartwheels.
That's terrifying.
Just floating eyeballs?
Some of them. Well, it was dark. It was underneath in the dark, so it was hard to tell.
So it was like catching light, like a cat eye or a dog.
Is that about right, Craig?
More like they were producing their own light as opposed to reflecting light from other sources.
Ew.
I mean, at least that's how your mind interpreted it. Yeah, I will let you all know as you're coming up with these things. As Chris said, Ricky's farm is a little ways out, so it's going to take you about a half hour, 45 minutes each way. So if it's something that you're trying to work time-wise, since this is our first time back, I'll let you know that the earlier you would do something like that might be the easier of gauging the rest of your time. Just right. I'll shut up now. That's my meta help for today.
I feel like in my dream, I feel like there was a problem there over at the farm. And I know that there's like the door might close on the what was it? It was a trailer. But I'm really worried
about Ricky's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just have to check that silo before the end of the day.
Well, since it's something we have to do, right? Maybe we should We should just get it done. Everything
Yeah, and
else
we can go to the
wait.
library tomorrow if we run out of time, right?
Yeah, we can.
So, Greg, the library's kind of on the way, isn't it? It's kind of, we passed the library. Just double checking with the map.
I mean, yeah, if you could obviously kind of circumvent Main Street. It is kind of crowded as far as with traffic and things like that. If you wanted to, make your if you wanted to go as the crow flies to Ricky's farm, you could definitely bypass Main Street. If you wanted to, if you're riding your bikes and you wanted to get as much speed as you could, maybe riding down Main Street and then cutting across out into the fields would be faster that way. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Hard-boiled eggs, that is.
Ricky pipes up. We could stop at the library and take out a book on Morse code. Pretty sure they're going to have a book on Morse code.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
just check it out.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just we'll stop at the library, check out the book, and then we'll go straight to your house and get that sorted.
It only takes 5 minutes to check the silo. Perfect. And then we can run.
Okay, my friends. I would just like to know, Scarlet ran here, Heather walked here. How would you all like to get from here to there? There could be the library, it could be Ricky's farm, it could be anywhere that's not here. How do you get there?
Yeah. Well, so I think JD would have ridden his bike, but with 2 other walkers, he would walk with them if that's what they wanted to do. I don't know if he would have. I mean, we could try and put somebody on like the handlebars.
I allow that all the time because in the 80s, no one would stop you from doing something that is decidedly incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we got around.
Yeah.
And I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just say, well, I rode my bike. If someone wants to sit on the handlebars, we'll go slower, but it'll be faster than walking probably.
Okay.
My bike's all messed up. At some point I gotta go fix it, but my I think it was my sister. She's so terrible.
What did she do?
Let out the air out of the tire.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Count the grain, fix Heather's bike, get the Morse code book, look for eyes, break into the trailer, get Ricky to the tree lighting ceremony.
Me.
JD.
Yeah.
Sorry, JD, yeah.
Well, Ricky, you could come too, obviously. But
yeah, I kind of want to be there because it's lots of fun and I really like the tree. So that's 6 things we got to do today. That's a lot of things.
Well, maybe we should get started then. Ricky, can somebody ride your bike too? Or I'm sorry.
I don't have pegs, but someone could sit on the handlebars or take the seat and I'll stand and pedal.
I don't have. I'm not good at balance like Scarlet is. Maybe I could, if it's okay, could I take the seat?
Yeah.
I'll sit on the handlebars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. This is how we used to get around as well. So as you all are in various stages of, on a bike built for one with 2, who's making the call? Where are you going first? Where are you going next? Whoever makes that call, it's definitive, and they roll leadership for our episode.
Shit.
JD came real close. I don't know if you want to go with.
I've lost track of what we talked about, where we were going to go first.
Well, how about we do this? JD, you make the call because you had everything together last time that everybody seemed to agree on, and I almost made you roll it then. And then there was some more talking, and Greg got distracted.
We're going to go straight to the farm.
Right.
Yep. JD's going to put his notes aside and know that we need to do this so that Ricky doesn't get in trouble and maybe can't come out with us tomorrow.
Yep.
Nice. Roll me leadership then, JD.
All right, here we go. Hey, I got 1.
Nice.
Fantastic. And with that success, now I will let you know, You already have a success that cannot be taken away from you. If you would like to push the roll to try to get additional successes, you can. However, there would be a condition in play if you would fail. Or you can take your one success, which is 2 dice to give away to somebody, and call it a day.
I am going to take the 2 dice as I only have 2 in heart. So the chances of me rolling another success are probably pretty low.
Okay, fantastic. So those 2 dice can be given to anybody except yourself, because these are leadership dice that are bequeathed to your friends and cannot be consumed selfishly. So as you all are riding out of town, like I said, 2 on a bike, everybody please go to your Spotify playlist and queue up Shadows of the Night by one Miss Pat Benatar. Through the streets of Garrett, you ride. There are people that are putting up decorations that are meant for the tree lighting ceremony, great red bows that seem to kind of point towards downtown. You see that there are many more cars like parked along the streets, people from out of town, license plates from West Virginia and Pennsylvania, as a lot of people kind of descend upon Garrett, Maryland for this particular event. It is absolutely festival. It has there is hot cocoa contests and things of that nature. All of the trimmings of the holiday season are kind of put up and put on display and done quite well here in Garrett, Maryland, thus its popularity. But you kind of bypass that as you are moving down the hills and riding the streets that are on the periphery of the city, and you're able to make it quickly out into those gridded fields. The air is cold. Martha in the morning would probably tell you that it's 35 degrees right now. It is a little after 10 in the morning. And you ride for a bit, and then if there's anything you want to say to one another, this isn't the mechanized transportation or travel of a motorcycle or a car or even a convertible. This is bike travel. And so other than the rubber on the road, you all can hear each other perfectly fine. The wind in your ears is biting, but it's not enough to deter you from your path or from conversation. Do you say anything to one another, or is this a silent march towards inevitability?
I think she would ask Ricky as they're going, do you see any eyes?
Ricky is visibly darting his eyes to every alley, to the underneath of every car. Does he see anything, Greg?
I don't know. Let's roll and investigate.
Oh,
if anybody would like to help Ricky look, you can add
help.
1 to it. But Ricky has to be the one to roll.
Heather's looking too.
You get a 1 from your friends.
Perfect. I mean, 2 whole dice. No successes, Greg.
So this information's for you, Chris. You see them everywhere. Now, whether or not this is something that you point out to the others, I'll leave that up to you to RP. Scarlett, Heather, JD, you all don't see anything that matches the description of eyes and shadows.
I think Ricky's pretty quiet on it, but he's visibly pedaling faster the more and more he sees, which is probably going to be pretty jarring to Heather sitting on the back of the bike. But yeah, he's probably keeping pretty quiet and just darting his eyes to everything.
JD,
And you'll see his head constantly switching side to side.
JD, hurry up.
I'm trying. He's going so fast.
You want to switch?
No. I could do it. I could do it. Maybe you ride back though.
Okay, yeah, we'll take
Okay.
turns.
Okay.
You want an egg?
No, I'm okay. I don't need an egg.
That's like the Keystones power up.
Yeah.
Protein.
Protein.
Yeah.
Somewhere Kyle's like, yeah,
Yeah.
Alrighty. By the way, we have a second Michigan. I'm not sure if anybody knew that. But anywho, as you all kind of descend into the off the road and onto the dirt gravel path that leads to Ricky's farm, You begin to kind of wind and dip down because the farms back in the day were not right along the road. The houses weren't anyway. They were deeper into the land. And so as you get off the main county road, you go down through the gravel and the dirt, and you see the farmhouse, the barn, and the silo. Ricky, your dad's truck is gone, which usually means that both of your parents are gone because this is a Saturday and your dad's probably going in to satisfy any number of chores he may have in town and errands that needed to be run. And in all likelihood, they're probably going to stay in there for the tree lighting ceremony later that night anyway. So it seems as if everything is empty here. At least it looks that way.
Is the north field visible from the road in?
You can see it, but you can't make out any of those characteristics that you noted. It's just beyond the silo. So the silo in and of itself is up a little bit because normally silos are placed to the point where there's no fear of flooding or water runoff that could, turn grain or corn or something like that. So they have pretty good drainage, which usually means they're put on a hill. And so that little rise of that hill kind of obscures the north field, but you can definitely point to it. That's the north field. Specifics are lost though with this type of view.
Right. As the silo comes into view, he stops pedaling and just starts freewheeling closer and closer towards the silo. And as the kids sort of catch up and right alongside, he looks across to Scarlett and JD with Heather behind him. The field on the other side as well. I mean, I did mess it up a little bit with the tractor, but the mess that's there is not from me. It's also been set on fire, which I know better than to set the field on fire. Yeah.
I mean, were they? Maybe it was the kids at the school, right? Because they're kind of jerks sometimes.
Yeah. I would hope so, but the field's pretty messed up. It's almost like they used our tractor to do it.
Huh. I mean, did you notice, anything on the tractor, or did they mess up the tractor at all?
I haven't checked the tractor today, but when I last used it yesterday, it was fine.
Well, I don't know. One time I read that in 1968, 2 people saw a Stegosaurus. Does that help?
Dinosaur?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think they blow fire, though.
I've never seen one. Maybe they do. Or maybe these ones do. I don't know.
Why don't we go count the grain? Why don't we go count the grain and then we can look around a little bit? We can check the tractor out. And she's still kind of looking around to see. It's like she hasn't seen anything this whole time. That's creepy. So,
roll me and investigate all your own, Scarlett.
2 successes.
Again, maybe it's just because you saw something this morning that reminded you of it. Mm-hmm. But with these 2 successes, you can smell that coppery electric smell, that electric blue of that fluid that you saw beneath Castle Grayskull. You saw it this morning. You saw that shade, that hue, that glow. But now it's the rest of the senses start to come in where you can smell it on the crisp air here by the farm. For a moment, it's almost like it's overpowering, and the smells of the farm and of the livestock are absolutely pushed to the periphery, and you catch it, that whiff of strange.
And she'll look at Ricky and something weird's going on here. You guys smell that?
Smell your eggs.
Sorry.
Smell you.
Okay, seriously?
I mean,
I went on 2 jogs today. Okay?
Yeah, let's be fair. I mean, Scarlett's gone on 2 jogs and she's housing hard-boiled eggs. This is something that you don't just get away from. This is not somehow she still smells great. No.
Yeah.
Heather's gonna look up at the sky and look around and try to compare, what she remembers from her dream to, what she's looking at right now.
Very good. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm going to say, let's go with a calculate here. I'll go with a calculate or a comprehend. These are two different ways to approach it. The calculate is almost like you're going to try to sync up what you remember from your dream with the actual landscape that you're looking at right now. It's almost like you're going to try to superimpose the two to see how they work together, to see if you can. It's almost like seeing two pictures and saying, hey, spot the differences in the two pictures. So this is something that definitely requires you to have that type of mind. Comprehend is you're going to take a broad view of everything and see if you can't kind of glean something different from your personal experiences outside of the dream world.
Heather is going to comprehend.
Okay. Yeah. In looking at all of this and kind of with that memory of the dream in your head, but unable to kind of place it into the exact frame of everything, with the comprehend, you can see as you all are approaching and moving up here that in and of itself, where these ruts and burns, they are a straight line from the field to the silo. It almost looks as if something passed through the field and got to the silo.
Oh, Ricky, do you see that? It's like something burned its way through or skidded in there, or do you see it?
He picks us up on thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's straight at the silo. And that's where I first saw the eyes, was underneath the silo. So
How far away are we from the silo now?
Right now, you're probably about 50 yards since you're kind of looking at where the field is. And any approach to the silo from this point, I'm going to ask the question, are you walking for speed or are you walking for stealth as you approach the grand cylinder?
Guys, let's just go as quick as we can, right? We only need to count the level and then we can go. We don't really want to mess with the eyes, right? So
but JD, I think we might need to deal with it.
Okay.
How though?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how, but we don't know what it is. So maybe we should just like go look and see what it is, and then we can make a plan.
She'll hop off the handlebars and can she walk with caution?
Is that quietly or is that just like on guard? So you are.
It's gonna. It'd be quietly. She's not trying to sneak, but she's not like she's lightly stepping.
Okay, well, roll me a sneak, and this will count more towards your preparedness than anything else. How's that?
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, you are, aware of everything, and you're advancing as such cautiously. What's everybody else doing as Scarlet begins to kind of pull ahead a bit towards the silo?
I think we got to follow her lead. I think.
Are we on? We're on foot now.
Yeah. Can Ricky see the eyes again underneath the silo?
You can investigate.
Oh, Greg.
I'll give you one bonus dice here. Huh?
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, JD would be definitely helping him to look as well.
A success.
You don't see them.
Yeah, in that case, Ricky walks a little bit quicker to catch up with Scarlet. It all looks clear at the moment. I don't see them.
Cool. Let's go.
That's good.
Like 50 yards is not very far, but it also is kind of far if you're walking slow. So she's going to walk a little quicker.
Everybody, please go to your Spotify playlist and cue up a little Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight, please. You all are able to get to the base of the silo. Now, this silo, just to explain it, has a building that is basically a ring around it. It's little more than a shed. This is someplace where you would kind of prep to remove the grain from inside the silo to make sure it didn't get wet, that you could prep it and get it out to the livestock and things like that. It is sealed. However, this isn't a shed that is necessarily airtight by any stretch of the imagination. You can see through the slats. It's not locked. It has just a regular kind of drop latch that keeps the door from banging against the frame. As you approach, Ricky, you would know that it looks the way it's supposed to look. And inside there is a battery powered lantern that you can turn on. That lantern is not on though. Obviously, no one's in there, so it hasn't been left on. The door is there. You would know that you would go in here and then you would gain access to the ladder that runs up the silo. And then you could open the door, look in, and gauge the levels.
Is there any kind of tool handy that she could use as a weapon?
Oh, there's tools all over the place. What would you like?
Nothing like a shovel, like long and cumbersome. Maybe like I don't know, a wrench or a bat or something.
No bat. Everything here has a purpose, but I would definitely say that you would be able to get one of those well caps. It's like a long kind of curved wrench that you would use to kind of, especially with irrigation, something you put down and kind of loosen the cap. It almost looks like a great big socket wrench.
Okay. Yeah, so she'll look and pick it up and like hold it and like, okay, go. And she's gonna cover Ricky's back.
Okay. And where will JD and Heather be with the back being covered and the front opening the door?
Heather is hiding behind Scarlet.
And JD's hiding behind Heather.
Perfect. That softball was thrown and Bacon was like, yep. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, as you all are staggered back behind Scarlet, who's holding the this huge socketed wrench, Ricky, how do you open this door? Do you slow it open? Do you just rip it open?
Ricky looks across to Scarlet, holds the door, sort of like, we're going to breach this, and then just rips it open and stands behind it.
Oh, you're riding the door back like you're keeping it as a shield. Love it. It also exposes Scarlet to whatever's inside. Scarlet, as the door swings open, roll me an investigate as you are the first to peer into the gloom.
1 success.
You don't see anything. You're not sure what you're supposed to see. This is someplace that you probably have never been on Ricky's farm as far as, investigating the silo or getting into this outbuilding. However, again, you're hit with that smell, that electric blue, that weird coppery chemical, the one that was from Castle Grayskull, but it hits you again through the livestock, through the hard-boiled eggs, through the exertion of training. You smell it.
God damn it. It's like when he throws open the door, she's gonna like run in a couple steps and like what, and swing the wrench around, and then like
force.
Oh no.
And with your wrench, I was going to give you a +1 because this is a bad boy.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll that extra dime.
Come on, 6. Damn it, no successes.
You swing, and the people that are behind you, as Heather and JD are stacked, you all watch as Scarlet runs in and absolutely cranks this thing, but catches nothing. Scarlet doesn't twirl and fall down or anything. It's just you hear this passage of great, like a metal swung with purpose as whew, but nothing is hit. And Scarlet, you stand and look around, and you're in an empty space with a ladder leading upward.
Yeah, she doesn't, because like she's probably never been in here, so she didn't really know what to expect. Like her eyes are kind of adjusting to the dark. And she's like, "Okay, it's not the heckin' eggs, okay? I smell. It's the same smell as from Castle Grayskull. The light. It smells like wires. You
Right,
guys
do
don't
we smell it different? So for Ricky, he's been in here. Does it smell like?
It's almost like when somebody points out something that you missed before in like a Where's Waldo or something like that. And you're like, oh, there he is. And you're like, damn it, there he is. When Scarlett says, do you smell that? It takes a moment for each of you. But then it's a very unique smell, that coppery electric, that smell that smells almost like a color, smells like
It
blue.
smells like blue.
Right. It smells like blue. And you don't know why you think that, but damn it, it seems right. And you all smell it in varying degrees, just a hint of it. And then right when you think, I imagine that, you catch it again.
Right?
That-
Right?
That's not what it smells like in here normally. I don't think it's the eggs.
No. It can't be.
Ricky will also make his way towards the ladder, Greg, to make the climb.
You make it there unimpeded, and the ladder, a very small ladder. This is one of those ones that has the rings that you have to basically hand over hand and really kind of tightrope up it to climb up into the air. The latch itself that would open into the top of the silo, at least enough to note the levels, is 40 feet up.
Mm.
This is back in the day when people did shit like this and weren't scared of falling the 40 feet. They did, but they weren't scared about it. Ricky?
Ricky looks at the others. It shouldn't take me more than a couple minutes. And he starts to climb.
Hey, do you want someone to come with you? She looks at JD.
I haven't seen any eyes yet. Just keep an eye out for them.
Okay, yeah. And she's gonna, there's no, from what she can see, there's no other way up there. Like, there's nothing that can jump out at him from what she can tell from up there. So as long as she guards the bottom of the ladder, nothing in her mind can get up to get him, right?
Right. As soon as Ricky goes up, he is basically just going to be suspended several dozen feet in the air without anything around him.
Okay. So she's just gonna guard the bottom of the ladder.
Heather, JD, are you staggering behind Scarlett again, or are you doing something else at this moment?
Well, coast is clear, so Heather's still outside of the silo. So she's going to walk up to the edge of where the marks and the burns begin, and bend down and take a look at that.
As you get there, roll me and investigate or comprehend. JD?
I think he'll walk in and he'll stand next to Scarlett, and just watch Ricky as he climbs, and say, "Hey, Ricky, don't fall."
I haven't yet.
Ricky, you begin your climb. No need for a roll now. You get up to the height of the silo, and the little porthole is there and it's latched. But when you get up there, I want you to roll me and investigate. And this one's at +2 because this is your home.
+2. One success.
Oh, nice.
You look the rest of the way up to the top of the silo that's capped with the brass and kind of copper top of a very well-made, very, built for longevity, this silo. And it is part of everything, but it's enabled to kind of be moved and whatnot, to have things kind of built and staggered and poured into it. You notice that this is ajar and it is not placed back the way that you or your dad would have done it. It's not latched for the weather. It's almost like it was ripped off and placed back on.
Does it look damaged in any way? Or does it just look like?
From now that you're kind of up and able to see under it a bit, it certainly does look like it's damaged.
Right. he's going to shout down to the others. The top doesn't look right, but he's going to stop at that point as he thinks about what he's going to do. He knows he needs to go up, but
you're right by
Ricky's
that. You're right by the hatch right now. Now you can continue up to the actual top of the silo, which is like another 10, 15 feet. But you're at the hatch right now that you would open to check the levels.
In that case, yeah, he's going to slowly open that hatch and just peer inside. And it's a very slow peer over the top.
My friends, again, we take to dark wings as we fly into the silo before Ricky peers in. We rest along the long piles of grain that are stacked inside here, and we see the square of light and Ricky's silhouette as he leans into the silo. Ricky, as you look down, you see that the levels are higher than what you remember, than where they should be, much higher. In fact, the grain is only just a few feet below where you're looking. And in the middle of this grain, you see blue light that is creeping through the particles, through the loose matter. And you see the grain shift and wave as if something is beneath it. And something begins to breach the surface of the grain. A great blue piece of metal. And you hear in your mind, "Do not be afraid. I mean you no harm." Heather, at your investigation, you look down and see these chunks taken out of the ground. You see these splashes of burn, and you see the ground is wet with what you know in your heart to be that electric blue, that energon. And as you look up, following the track that goes from the silo out into the fields, you see small spindly shapes. 1, 2, 3, a dozen, come bounding through the field toward you. But we take to flight on dark wings, because that is the end of our session.
Wow, that was
Oh my
incredibly
god.
fun.
Okay, Greg.
This is usually the part where I come in and I
No,
help
no,
everyone do
no.
outros. But let's
We
just
can
take
keep going.
let's just take a
keep
second
going.
here. Let's just take a second here and appreciate that Optimus Prime is living in your fucking farm.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
You feel like,
fucking.
does
okay.
Ricky feel like Mark Wahlberg at all?
Because he
right now?
should.
You should.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely should.
He's definitely throwing grain at Scarlet.
Okay. I guess let's go around and do the outros. Alternatively, I just cancel my plans for the day. We can keep going. Let's start with the famous barn situation here. We'll start with Necro. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Hey everybody, I'm Chris, aka Necro. You can generally find me in the unMadeGaming Discord. You can also find me in, was it 2 hours? For the for the campaign game with unMadeGaming for the Patreon. There's a link down below if you're not a member of the Patreon. And otherwise next week for more Patreon stuff, which again, there's links. Sign up.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, I'm nowhere else.
All right, G, you're next. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
I'm G Lightning Invoker on Twitch. You'll find me in the Discord. You'll find me modding here and modding for Nomadic. And you'll find me at an hour for the Patreon campaign here. So come back and watch that. And then next weekend is our Patreon one-shot. Join the Patreon! If you want one-shots, there's still one spot available. So come join that. And yeah. This was so good.
Alrighty. Melissa, you're next. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hi, y'all. Oh my gosh, this was the best. It's just so exciting to be back. So who am I? I am Melissa Draftier on Twitter and Discord, and I'm just here being a fan and having great conversations and just loving all the great streams here. And doing fan art. So I'm a local unMadeGaming fan artist. That's me.
Alrighty. That brings us to hold on, new name. As Told by Dice.
Yeah.
Mitchell, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Yeah, my name is Mitchell. On Twitter, I go by As Told by Dice. We recently started a new D&D Twitch channel, me and 4 or 5 other DMs, so that we could always rotate out and be playing as many games as possible. So we're doing that. And I had taken a long time away from Twitter, so I'd pretty much gotten rid of all the Bacon 5.0 stuff, but that will be my name, when it's just me. So, but yeah, we stream games right now on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Hell yeah. And last but not least, my brother from the internet, Greg, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi, everybody. I'm Greg, formerly Grimjack21502. You can find me on the unMadeGaming Discord, over at Academic Foxhole's Discord, just talking about games that I'm in or I'm running. I absolutely love the unMadeGaming community. Been hanging out there for several years now. Mike has been, like you said, internet brother. We joke around and stuff, but I actually believe that. Mike is a fantastic guy. He is an incredibly hard worker. He is a new dad, and he's kicking ass at all of them. And I am absolutely honored and privileged to be a part, which I want to segue. You can't find me on the internet other than there. But you can find me on the unMadeGaming Patreon. I would love it if you would join us there. Fantastic stuff. You're able to jump in and be able to be privy to a lot of the extras that go along with the fantastic shows that are on here. The after shows in and of themselves, being a part of them and watching them are great. They give you a lot of insights into fabulous role players across all the shows, and the insights that the GMs have on the unMadeGaming channel are top of the line. It is well worth it. I love this group. I love the Atari Twilight Autobots. I love everything about being in Garrett, Maryland. It is the best. The community is the best. Please join us over at the Discord and talk about it. We have heated debates over everything: music, movie, television, pop culture, and of course the Keystones and the Autobots. Join us there, my friends. And until next time, play all the rock that's fit to spin.
Perfect. Well, I don't have to plug anything. So, there is going to be more Twist of Fate. This was not a one-shot with a cliffhanger. This is a mini-campaign, so please keep those dials turned to 106.1, your premier rock station for Garrett, Maryland, and we'll be back again soon for more of Twist of Fate. But for now, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.